Olá pessoal, tudo bem? Esse vídeo é para você que está buscando estudar em uma das universidades mais bem prestigiadas do mundo. Eu trago aqui, como parte de uma série de entrevistas online que nós estamos fazendo durante essa quarentena, Shannon Farley. Ela é a diretora internacional para a América Latina da Univerity College Dublin. É a Ucd lá na Irlanda. Como vocês sabem, a Ucd é uma das mais bem ranqueadas universidades do mundo, com um nível de empregabilidade acima de 90%, e ainda a Shannon vai falar aqui no nosso canal exclusivo muitas oportunidades de bolsas de estudo para brasileiros somente. Vai já deixando o seu like antes mesmo de assistir a entrevista, porque tem muita, mas muita coisa mesmo para você.
Thank you guys, thank you so much for agreeing to take this conversation with us today. It's a privilege to be here. So I'm here with Niall Lane and Shannon Farley from University College Dublin, one of the most prestigious universities in Ireland, 18th best business school in the world, the Smurfit Business School. Many perks for you who wants to study at this amazing university. Employability rate, one of the highest in Ireland and in Europe as well. So Shannon, thank you so much.
Thank you, Paula.
Can you tell us a little bit more about University College Dublin and how University College Dublin can benefit students, especially international students?
Absolutely. So University College Dublin is Ireland's largest university. It also is home to the most number of international students. So for any international students looking for a welcoming community, you're certainly going to find that at UCD. So we have over 29,000 students on our Belfield campus, which is located just south of the city center of Dublin. So we're an urban campus in that suburban setting. So you're right there kind of in the heart of Dublin, but in more of a suburban neighborhood that can really be beneficial to our international students in creating community and feeling a part of our campus. And about 29% of our students are from non-Ireland, so there'll be quite a community to build there. UCD is also known for 3 years in a row as Ireland's #1 for graduate employability. So for especially our graduate students coming to UCD and taking advantage possibly of the 2-year stay-back visa, there is lots of opportunity, and UCD would be a well-known university that you would be taking that reputation with you into your employment search.
So that's great. And you were mentioning earlier about like new scholarship schemes for students. Will they be put in place in 2020 or 2021? Tell me a little bit more about them. Yeah.
Absolutely. University College Dublin offers a lot of merit-based scholarships for incoming students, both at undergraduate and postgraduate. So based on the merit of your application, you can be awarded some of our smaller global scholarships for tuition discounts. We also offer global excellence scholarships. These are certainly higher in value and higher in responsibility for students that are selected to be really ambassadors for UCD. Those specific scholarships are offered at 50% or 100% tuition, so they can be very competitive. Students specifically from Brazil for fall 2020 and fall 2021 that are looking at postgraduate programs can apply to and be eligible for additional stipend scholarships. So it's not specifically tied to your tuition, and those can be awarded for spending on your accommodation, for your living costs, so that you can be a successful student at UCD.
Okay, so the third scholarship, what was it called again? The third type of scholarship?
UCD Brazil Scholarship.
So is it called UCD Brazil Scholarship?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Specifically for students looking at postgraduate programs who've been accepted to them for fall 2020, fall 21, but they have to be from Brazil.
Okay, so they have to be from Brazil. It's Brazil, UCD Brazil Scholarship. And how do we apply for this scholarship? Is there an application form, or is there any set of requirements the students need to meet?
Yes, so you'll first apply to UCD and receive an offer. So if you have done that already for fall 2020 or plan to apply for fall 2021, once you receive your offer to UCD, you'll be encouraged to submit a new application for additional scholarships. One would be the Global Excellence Scholarship, and then the second would be specifically for the UCD Brazil Scholarship, once we see that you're eligible.
Okay, so and the scholarship can be up to, is there a limit for this scholarship, or?
About 5 to 10,000 euro.
Oh, that's a good scholarship, from 5 to 10,000 euros.
Yes.
And that will depend as well on grades, or depend on experiences, a set of things that you will consider, am I correct?
Absolutely, yes. So this student will again be looked at to be an ambassador for UCD. So we'll both be looking at academic merit as well as their ability to really showcase UCD on a global level.
Wow, that is really good. And could you tell me what are the areas that employ the most international students? Graduates from UCD, would you have these data by any chance?
Generally, most of our graduate employability is really across the board at UCD, which is what makes us number one in Ireland for graduate employability the last 3 years. But we see a lot of interest for international students within the science field, the technology field, and certainly within business. At UCD, there's a lot of supports for students to be looking at internships and gaining real life experiences during their both undergraduate and postgraduate experiences, and which is one massive advantage as well as being so close to Dublin during your studies is to be gaining those real life experiences that then turn into employment opportunities as well.
That is great. And in relation to accommodation, does UCD have accommodation on campus?
We do have accommodation on campus. We currently have 3,000 beds. That'll be doubled actually over the next few years to nearly 6,000 beds on campus. So right now, all of the accommodation that is on campus and is planned for campus are all what we call single room accommodation, meaning whether you're in an apartment or a studio or in a flat, depending on how many students are within that specific apartment, you still will have your own room. So it's very independent style living. You'll have a kitchen in there as well that you can access, and some of them will be en suite. The plans for the additional accommodation, though, they're pretty spectacular. So whether you might be looking for also the gym memberships or the grocery stores or a cafe, the communities that'll be being built over this summer and over the next few years will really be adding a whole new level to our campus community.
Oh, so many things that at UCD. Related to undergrad, there is one question, especially Brazilians that come from high school. Do they need to go through a foundation year, or can they be accepted directly onto year one of an undergrad program?
So for Brazilian students, we accept both the Certificado and the ENEM qualifications, and the combination of those qualifications will allow students to access a number of undergraduate courses. Now, for some of the most competitive courses in UCD, we would also require 1 year of university studies, but this is actually all listed on our website. Over the past couple of months, we've made it much more user-friendly for Brazilian students, and they can actually see all of our courses advertised and the courses that we offer for Brazilian students, and you can see the requirements for those courses. So it'll say whether it needs the ENEM or just the certificado, or will it need additional qualifications as well.
Oh, okay. So some courses they can actually get admitted directly onto year one.
They can, yes.
Yeah, so it basically is based on the course. So medicine, I have actually a few inquiries with medicine. Actually, I have a few students that I'm working with and they want to do medicine. Does UCD accept Brazilian students with medicine courses?
It does, yes. And medicine would also be one of the more competitive programs that UCD offers. And so really we would expect Brazilian students to present with the Certificado, ENEM, and also 1 year of university education.
Okay, so they take 1 year, 1 year university education. But does it need this year? Does it need to be a related field like bioscience or biomedical field or pharmacy, biology? Does it need to be related?
There needs to be some relation in terms of the subject requirements. So for medicine, there is a lab science requirement that needs to be met. Now, I would need to double check my figures and my own data just to confirm whether or not that is, you need to go through the certificado for that. But generally, students from Brazil who are applying for medicine and are presenting with university education will be presenting with kind of a science-based field or a science-based subject. That's usually what we've seen so far.
Yeah, no, that is great. So lots of information, guys. Well, we will pass these on to the students. You know, like they need to know all this. They need to know like they can go to UCD. They have a chance, because one thing I work a lot is self-esteem. I mentor students as well at the same time. They see Trinity, they see UCD as important. That's what I hear this word all the time. Oh, this is impossible. I can't go to UCD. I can't go to Trinity. That's what I hear all the time. And so my job is trying to empower them to get into these universities, and after that, get a really good grade. And the last question, actually, I wrote down here is about RPL, recognition prior experiential learning. I have a few students, they have like many years of experience, let's say like over 10 years experience, but don't have a bachelor degree. Would experience alone suffice for entering onto a postgraduate program, or do you have any sort of pathway so that they can get into a postgrad program?
At the moment, we would, for any postgraduate students, we would require the undergraduate degree in order to apply. So the college level degree to apply to most of the postgraduate programs. There is another pathway that can be considered. It's more on a case-by-case basis, so they'll just want to reach out to Global Admissions. We'll put them in contact with the program office for consideration of experience, but there's no streamlined process specifically for that to refer them to. It'll be more case by case.
Or an RPL can be considered.
Yeah, any recognition of their prior experience, yes.
Yeah, reason I'm saying that, because there's so many students who have like amazing working experience, but sometimes they are reluctant to apply because they don't know about RPL scheme or RPL way. I know it's tough, and it is tough, it is very difficult, it demands a lot from the students, but there is a way there. So I just want you to clarify this if UCD works with that. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks. And please be safe.
Same to you and your family.
Stay home. Take care, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Paolo.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.